matters to you as a. Okay.
Okay,
Anyone
can
would
I
like?
respond to that, Somnath, Sanchita this side?
Yes, yes, Sanjita. Please go ahead.
Okay, so I think honoring the commitment for me is honoring myself in terms of if I'm keeping the promise that I've kept to myself, my relationship with my own word, with my own being strengthens. If I take my word casually, if I'm not keeping the commitments that I have made, then I'm weakening my own relationship with my own self. And it has a ripple effect into the quality of life I'll be able to live. So, I think one should not make commitments if they are not able to honor it. I mean, one is casual saying, ha ha, okay, I'll do it. That I don't count as commitment. But the real commitment where your heart and soul and intention is aligned and you really want to act upon the promise that you're making, I call that as a commitment. And once you are aligned and you give your word, then if you miss it, the world will judge you later. You will judge your own self first. So that's how I see it.
Okay, great response. Thank you so much. What I infer from your response that basically the self-respect, right? Eventually, you will increase the self-respect. So that is what I uh, infer from your right. Am I right? Hopefully,
You are, absolutely.
yes, yes. Okay. Anyone would like to add something? Okay, no issue.
I, I can
So,
add.
yes, please go ahead with it.
Uh, like my perspective towards commitment is that it talks about you as a person when you follow the commitment, and that energy that you carry along tells more about you. So that's why my perception is when it comes to commitment. That whether are you delivering, and if you are, then whether how committed are you. So it talks about more about you as a person.
Okay, good, great over there. So yeah, so what in the yeah, you both are correct. Okay, but in the context of Toastmaster, in the context of professional and personal development, okay, these are the 4 point I believe are most resonate. Okay, for example, just take example of people rely you on more. Okay, if you here I want to give one example anecdote. Okay, because in initial year of my professional career, okay, I was very confident on my technical abilities. Okay, what I used to do, I used to uh, when there was effort of for assignment 15 days, okay, I used to uh, convince my manager that I can deliver this within a 10 days. Okay, so so to improve to impress the my manager, right? To show my the you know uh, competence that I will deliver faster and everything. Okay, so I used to promise that I would deliver 10 days, but somehow some because of some situation it took more than 10, maybe 10, 11 or 12 days. Okay, but that did not land up well with my manager. Okay, that would not land up well with on the manager, because they say that you promised for 10 days and now you are taking 1 extra days. Okay, even though that, but so there was a uh, impact on my credibility. Okay, there was impact on my reliability. Okay, so then I learned on out of the nowadays what I do, I did take extra time and I made sure that whatever happens I will deliver on the time. So eventually it it positively impacted on my credibility and reliability in the eyes of my manager. Okay, so the second point, again, the credibility and presence. Okay, once I also another give example in this context, also gain the credibility and the presence. And 2 year before, uh, I was a very credible, reliable resource. Okay, and that's the reason in the I believe I was the first person to take the sabbatical leave for 3 months. Okay, and because of my because of my credibility and reliability, they allowed me to take the leave for a 3 month with the paid with the full payment. Okay, uh, so that we can utilize. So what I believe that this is not what toastmaster you are not going to, whatever we do we will implement on the toastmaster, that we have to take and implement in a personal and professional lives. Okay, so opportunity follows dependability. Here I want to give one example where when I was 3 years before, when I was joined as a first time. Okay, at that time the sa was one lady. Okay, and she, because of personal reason, she couldn't continue. Okay, but there was opportunity, and I was, I was there. I showed some commitment to come before the meeting and do the arrangement and everything. Eventually that opportunity of being a got me luckily. Okay, even after joining even after joining, I think 1 or 2 months, I don't remember, recollect, but yeah. So that is a there is a one anecdote I wanted to share to highlight this importance of this point. Opportunity follows dependability. Okay, and you build a strong reputation. So that's all. Okay, so yeah, what would be the benefits in terms of toastmaster? Okay, so yeah, like I said, the quality of the meetings. Okay, if you come regularly, if you interact with the people, okay, that eventually sense of belonging would increase, right? And the third, in discipline and follow through. These are the point are very important. If you work on commitment, basically, uh, commitment, you will be more disciplined, and yeah, the benefits of the toastmaster you will be getting. Okay, the next slide. This is a okay. What, like, we now we learn how we can, what are the benefits of the commitment. Okay, now the point is how we can implement in the toastmaster. These are the things that we will be implement. Okay, so this is a officially materials that has been suggested by the that has been recommended Toastmaster International. Okay, so what they want every member should promise. Okay, that, for example, I promise to participate by attending regularly. Okay, it's very very important that attend the meeting is very, very important. Okay, I think I always tell in my presiding officer speech also. Even might have Amit also must have told this, and even Shamsar also must have told this, right? But this is a very very important, because what is happening, this is not benefit in the context of Toastmaster alone, because nowadays we are working from home mostly, right? So you will get a good chance to get come out of your comfort zone, and socialize for a 3 or 4 hours, right? That is also one important. And you also, if you are not in Toastmaster meeting, you will be now scrolling through your mobile, right? So learning something new, getting new information from the different people, to try to get the different perspective on the same topic, right? So these are the benefits of if you are attending meeting regularly. Okay, carefully preparing speeches. Okay, what happens nowadays, people directly ask Copilot or something to write a speech for me. But I would recommend that before going for AI agent, just try to write down raw ideas on the in the notebook, and then to improvise grammatically or improvise structurally, you can take help of the AI. But you should not go first to get the ideas. Okay, the ideas should come from your heart only. Okay, uh, and those ideas will feel authenticate. Okay, if you are taking content from the AI agent or internet, the people might not resonate with you, with the content of your speech. Okay, so the first is a fulfill all assignment. Okay, these are more really important. What happens, people sometimes just prepare the speech and deliver the speech, but they should uh, should they should connect with their evaluator before the speech. Okay, they should hand over their hard copy of the those evaluation sheet with the evaluator, and then after the speech also they can connect with uh, evaluator to understand more. So this is very important. People sometimes quite people evaluator is not that much expert. Okay, people might ignore that. So that should not be the case. Okay, the second, okay, I promise to aid the fellowship of helpful evaluation. Okay, it's very important in the evaluation. Okay, uh, it's easy to evaluate someone's speech. Okay, but it's very hard, as per me is hard to evaluate the someone's leadership quality. Okay, so for example, you can say something that your voice was not loud enough, or that structure was not proper. Okay, you are in you know your start was not effective. Okay, there was no call to action to your in your conclusion. So that giving that evaluation or that giving that feedback is easy, but evaluating a leadership quality would be hard. So you have to focus on that part also. Okay, so yes, so the second next point, yes. So we have to rush through because we are running out of time. Okay, promoting a positive and friendly environment. This is also important. uh, like asking, not only asking about the toastmaster uh, like speeches and levels and pathways, everything. You should ask, or you should discuss the other members or guests about their families, about their profession, career. Okay, so and so that communication should not end up with the, join the club. Even with the guest, that communication always should be, neutral, and where there should not be any something that we will, you know uh, convince them to join the club. That should not be part. We have to just prompting a positive and supportive and friendly environment. Okay, serving as an officer. Okay, this is a very important. If you want to practice the leadership skill, you have to be a in the leadership team. Yeah, during day to day, meeting to meeting, you will get a chance to demonstrate the leadership quality. But you want to frequent frequent chances where you can try and develop your leadership quality, then you can join the XCOM team. Okay, how I, if you ask me how I got inspired to be a part of the XCOM team, the reason is I vividly remember that when I joined first time as a Toastmaster. Okay, I was a SA. Okay, and SA supposed to come 1 hour before. Okay, but I remember I was a new, and then President DTM Toastmaster Sham. He was a president that time. He used to come before me to carry to make arrangement, everything. So always he was there. Okay, he was actually a role model for me, and I believe his action. He never convinced me to be a part of the XCOM, but his action or his behavior inspired me to be a part of the XCOM team. Okay, because like I said, the my main object to join the club to improve my communication. Okay, I never thought to improve my leadership quality, but by looking at the Shamsar and looking at the Chidanand, I got inspired to be a part of this leadership team. Okay, yeah, so yeah, treating members and guests with respect and courtesy. Okay, it's very important. Okay, when guests deliver the table topic. Okay, uh, we also how we interact with our regular Toastmaster. Okay, to whom we are very friendly, you should ask the same intensity, same way to the guest also. Okay, for example, I want to ask question. So last there was maybe Sanchita, I think Uday was not there. I am Acha, who is there then? Krishna, I believe. Krishna, you were there in last contest. No, no, yeah. I- So my question to whoever ever present for any area contest, not particular to this, did you uh, congratulate non Khargar Toastmaster member for winning, or with the same intensity as a Khargar Toastmaster contestant? Right. So that should be there actually, correct? That same intensity, same nature, right? like they said that you are the one, your real quality are those when you deliver even when no one looking at you, right? So like having discussion with club toastmaster, you have to say, you have to do the same intensity every discussion, even commitment, evaluation, recommendation, whatever you are having, you should have a distance with the same intensity with other members also. Okay, another thing I notice in our club also, people, what happens, people try to come and greet same set of members. Okay, that should not be that way. Okay, when you come, you should reach out to each and every member of the club. Okay, that way, that this is not way to socialize or something, but it will eventually, when you go to the professional environment, you will easily approach, you can easily approach to any person, you are right. Even there is a uh, feeling, different feeling, if how, why should I go, like, so that should not happen in your professional setting when you practice that situation, scenario in the clubs setting. Okay, so yeah, that was one point I wanted to share with you. Yeah, bringing guest, yeah, it's very important. See, like I always insist that we don't need a member that those are not, they are those are not serious about their development, personal and professional, right? We have to, we have to look for the guests who are really working on themselves. Okay, and we feel that if they come to the toastmaster, they can be they benefited. Okay, like that only. So you can select those people and you can take those people with you, because they, with that action, you might change their life. Sorry. Okay, so I try to I have two nephews. Okay, I try to bring both of them. One from Pune. I insisted him to take the membership. He took the membership in Pune Toastmaster Club. Another nephew, he stays in Kharkopar. Okay, I insisted him to join, but he never. He is too confident that I don't need. So yeah, but at least I tried. Okay, uh, even I reached out to yeah, that's all. I reached out to couple of girls from my society also. Okay, who are in engineering discipline, who are in CA. Okay, I just gave them exposure. This is a toastmaster all about. Okay, if you think you resonate with that idea, then they can. So that's all. Okay, that with that. So following guidelines and rule. Here I what I want to say state that sometime what happens, the speech limit is we have 5 to 7. Okay, but speaker can go around 10 minutes also. Okay, and even 12 minutes also, but that should not be the case, because if speakers speak for 9 minutes or 10 minutes, I personally take it as a disrespecting to the audience, because even though you got the red card, but you should not go actually. Okay, if you go beyond 10 minutes or 9 minutes, that would be disrespectful for the audience. Okay, so these are the rules. And another one rule that I think Shamsar also highlighted, that you I know whatever you are taking role, you should not skip your script. Okay, you have to stick to the script. Okay, observing ethical standard. So this is a one I want to share one anecdote for this point. Sorry, the observing ethical standard. When I was a guest first time, I remember, I think this couple of time I have told this incident, but since this incident, so that anecdote is resonating with this point, I would like to share again. We That meeting was in Zion. Okay, and that time members and guests were more than, I think, 25. Okay, and the hall was not enough to accommodate all. Okay, but the Chidanand, DTM Chidanand, then president, was sitting outside the hall, and so that everyone get the place to sit inside the hall, inside the main room. So these are the, I believe these are the, unwritten ethical standard that we have to follow when you are a member, or when you are part of the XCOM group, or you are on. So these things comes unknowingly within you, I believe, when you step into that specific role. Okay. So yeah, as a conclusion, I want to say a commitment is about identity construction. Like I a few months back, I read one book with the help of Sanchita, the Atomic Habit. So they highlighted the how we can change the identity, though it's very important. Now, if you are committed, okay, if you think that I am committed, can you be like that way, and eventually you do that repeatedly, you never miss the commitment. Okay, that not possible. There are, but you are try to. Not miss any commitment. In that case, that identity changes eventually. Okay, then you become a committed person. Then you improve your credibility and reliability. Okay, and you will get lot of chances, because when you show the credibility in your environment, wherever it is, you get lot of opportunity, because people trust the people who are reliable. Okay, it's fine, the person can take 2 more days, but he said that he will deliver. So that way we have to do. So competency, hard work, and technical skills is if you are credible and reliable, that things don't matter that much. Okay, yeah, I do agree that those skills also dependable, but the credibility and reliability is very important. Okay, and self-respect is built by keeping promise you made to yourself, like Sanchit also highlighted. And yeah, this is if you do what we promise to ourselves, the self-respect automatically increases. Okay, with that, this is a now time to Q&A session. I
We
believe
have only
we are.
5 minutes. We have only 5 minutes in hand before it disconnects.
Yes, we can ask couple of questions, and we properly say goodbye instead of abrupt ending the call.
No
Yeah, I
questions
understand.
from my end, Somnath. Loved hearing your stories and your experiences. No questions from my end. Thank you.
Okay, no worry, thank you. Yeah, I understand. This is it's like a repetitive session, because every time we speak about the the regular attend the meeting and deliver the role with your excellence. Yeah, I understand. If you don't have a question, I'm also fine with it. So okay then. Yeah, Shubhayan, I believe you unmuted yourself.
Yeah, thanks, Somnath, for taking the session. And since you and I are more or less peers in
Yes.
Toastmasters, just one point of feedback that I wanted to give. It's important to be committed to Toastmasters, but more than the word committed, I would say that we should practice sustainable commitment. The main reason being that commitment can easily lead to burnout. And why does burnout happen? It's because we forget the why beyond what we are doing. And when we forget the why, we start feeling resentment. And this is especially true for those taking up club leadership roles, such as you and me, and beyond the club, for example, any district roles. To give a context for those people who are not aware or familiar with me, I am both a club president and an area director.
Area.
Trust me, that is one of the hardest duties to perform. So whenever you take up leadership roles, as Toastmaster Sanchita has already pointed out, you should be able to honor those commitments and not let people down, but at the same time, it should not come at the cost of your own pleasure in doing what you're doing. because at the end of the day, we don't want resentment, because that is what leads to a lot of people dropping out of Toastmasters. That's it.
Yeah. Hmm. Thank you so much, Shobhan, for putting your perspective. Yeah, yeah, I really resonate with this because I might not have gone through the hardest situation that you have